college student in 1967 when my brother-in-law Penn came home to Rhode Island with stories about Hurricane Island. And I said, well, where is this place and what is it all about? And he said, oh, you wouldn't want to really know. It's just for men anyway. So I'm interested in. So fast forward a couple years, and all of a sudden there was a slideshow that Mike Stratton had put together that I somehow saw from the Colorado Outward Bound School. And the only scene in the slideshow I remember was somebody looking up from a campfire and saying, does anybody here want a hot dog? And I remember that scene vividly and how intrigued I was by this idea of being outdoors for a length of time. And then, fast forward another 6 months or a year, and I encountered Penn on the streets of Boston after I had left my job at Little Brown, and Penn was just finishing a meeting with the School of Ed at the University of Massachusetts and had just arranged for a graduate school of education teacher's course worth 6 graduate credits. And I was about ready to leave Little Brown and do something else, and I said, oh, 6 credits for an Outward Bound course, that sounds really good. I think I'll sign up. So I did. And the next summer was 1972, and that's when Dagny and Becky Pierce and Judy Powers, who isn't here tonight, and I all arrived at Hurricane and learned from Peter Coburn, I remember, that actually as women, we were only allowed to be on the right-hand side of the staff lounge as you looked at it. So Becky and Becky particularly took that one on head on. But, okay, so now I want to tell you a memory. And I have a really, really short memory, so I can't remember all these great stories about incidents. But what I do remember is a couple of times when pulling boats were an incredible teacher to me. One of those times was with Mike Stratton when I was a new watch officer, and we were coming back from expedition on the south side of Vinyl Haven, and we got off Brimstone, and the fog shut in so thick we could not see another boat in front of us. And I remember we had learned that one of the things we could do with a senior watch officer, which Mike Stratton was to tether up the boats. And we actually did that. And I remember thinking, thank God, because I would be dead up here. I would be sailing in the wrong direction. Mike Stratton said, I know hurricanes over there. That's where we're rowing, and off we went. So that was incident number 1. Incident number 2 was from the sheet anchor. Remember the sheet anchor? And the little quotes on the bottom of the sheet anchor that said things like, experience is the result of good judgment. Good judgment that is the result, no, backwards. Good judgment is the result of experience. Experience that was the result of bad judgment. Well, there were lots of little things in the sheet anchor that we were supposed to remember, but one of them was to never cleat the main sheet with a locking hitch. Remember that in the sheet anchor? So we're in the staff lounge one morning having a staff meeting, and all of a sudden we looked out the window, and there was a pulling boat that had the main sheet cleated. It jibed, and over she went. Philip Baldwin was the instructor. We all took off at a fast clip down to Valley Cove, and that was the first time I think we used the bathtub for a potential hypothermia case. But I'll never forget looking out the window and seeing this sort of slow motion version of our sort of nightmare that we'd all been learning about. So that was incident number 2. And incident number 3 with the pulling boat being my teacher was really the best one, and that was Peter's idea, I think, one summer when we were all asked to single-hand a pulling boat for staff training. And that was really an exercise in planning and anticipating and looking at, what you were going to do 10 or 20 minutes or half an hour before you actually did it. And it was a wonderful teacher. And so I'm just loving remembering how much the pulling boat taught me.